Alright guys, what's happening? We're back again with Overload. Surprise rebalance quality of life action here today. We're up to 0.677. This is going to be much like my first impressions, except nothing is new, so I'm just going to dive in on Syrinx hotshot and do around there, try and scope out the balance changes, see how things are looking, because the earlier patches in this cycle were pretty punishing in their difficulty. So we'll see how things turn out here. Let me get the audio all set up. Hopefully this sounds all right. I was going to broadcast this out on Twitch at twitch.tv/chilibus, but Twitch is currently underwater, I suppose. I'm going to. Oh boy. I also haven't played in a couple of weeks. Just doing work and playing other games. So if I'm rusty, then that'll happen. So things are a little warmer right off the bat. A couple more robots spawning in a little bit faster. This is mostly intended as a quality of life patch, is my understanding. Not quite sure what that means for challenge mode, aside from a couple of balance changes, etc. I know there were a pile of fixes introduced into single player. I read over the patch notes and promptly forgot everything, mostly because I haven't had dinner yet, so I'm kind of hungry. Yeah. This, again, mostly a big balance patch here, so we'll see what's going on. My understanding is we can now have more than 2 super robot types, which sort of changes the meta, as it were. Guardians, here we go. Ow. Oh, nice. Okay, so the Guardians appear to have taken a pretty significant nerf, maybe? We'll see. That one wasn't too accurate, and I think it hit me 3 times for not all that much damage. So we'll see what's up. But it's good we have Guardians here, because that's the thing I love complaining about now. What else? Yeah, the Super Hydras, I believe, those had their weapons changed, quote unquote. At least I think it was the Super Hydras. I don't think it was the Sharpie. Yeah, opening up with Tracker Falcons as a first upgrade was pretty helpful here. Able to just grind stuff out. Let's see if anything other than my main weapons. Cyclone feels a little bit stronger, like just a tad. I also just got the export for it, so like, who knows? Maybe, maybe not. It's definitely no more accurate, and I feel like the effects visually were turned down a little bit. Just to make them a little bit thinner, more in line with, say, how the impulse works. There we go. Yeah, that's great. It's like flying a bicycle. Now, I do kind of want to get a huge pile of Novas together and then see if that performance changed. Because it seems mostly like a pile of code fixes, but I don't know. overall, things feel natural for having left off for 2 weeks. And the Guardians, yeah, I don't know. These Guardians are a little bit easier, but this is a hot shot, and my memory isn't great when it comes to balance or anything like that. So we'll see. I wish there were ogres on the level right now. Because ogres took a pretty major buff in the last patch, or in a last patch, not necessarily the last one. Yeah, the physics throw and the damage was pretty phenomenal. All right, so that was like 5 hits from a Guardian. That's still pretty significant, but it fires a little bit slower, which I like seeing. It's not gonna just dunk, you know, 15, 20 hits on you. It wasn't dunking that many earlier, but you know what I mean. It's not gonna hit you over and over and over really rapidly. It'll still hit you, but it's just not as imminent a threat. The damage values do appear to be unchanged. I wasn't particularly in tune with them before. That's how I saw but they do. The Guardian damage values do not seem to have changed all that much. And if they have changed, it's very subtle. So we're heading towards 100 here with relatively little problems. It's also a pretty consistent pace. I don't know if I'm going any faster necessarily. I just feel like it's a little bit sooner than past patches to be hitting 100. What is? Oh, it's an ad. Oh. All right, there we go. Whoa, shit. Oh, so Guardian health might have taken a bit of a nerf, too. That or Reflex L's do a lot more damage than I remember. Boy. Ah. The Falcon tracking appears to have tightened a bit. And no slowdown from one Nova, not that a single Nova would really slow things down much earlier, but it's not gone in the opposite direction. Okay, so there's punishment, but it's not like brutal punishment. All right, that is kind of that's a bit much. All right. I want to say Hydras feel a little bit less accurate, which is a welcome change, because they were like, you know, lasers earlier. Here we go, 2 Novas. Ah, that's gotten a lot better. That's good. That's really good. On my machine, 2 Novas was enough to tank the frame rate down to probably just south of 20, I want to say. And then everything on top of that would just slow the simulation even further. Might be the end of it. Oh! ready to launch those, but there's nothing around. Man, that LT goes for a while. God, what is with the ads?
For your English class.
This is outrageous. There we go. All right. Now, I don't know if I'm in one of those games where it just spawns a ton of invulnerabilities, but this is now the third one I've had before 200 kills. And usually once they start spawning, they show up pretty regularly. So I don't know if that the consistency within singular runs was buffed, or if spawn rates on the whole were changed. Anything like that. Wow, yeah, it's not slowing down at all. That is great. Oh, hey, the Sharpie. It didn't do anything. It seemed a little more balloony, if that makes sense. This feels like it's a little bit harder to regain ground you've lost, if that makes sense. Of course, now that I say that, they're, you know, 3 shields right here. Holy crap, what is up with YouTube's advertising right now? This is crazy. It's just ad after ad. So the Super Hydra, I guess, wasn't the one that had it changed. I could have sworn it was, though. Maybe it was just like a change in like, values or something, as opposed to an actual design alteration. Ah! That Harpy intercepted that, whatever it is. Devastator. Okay, so now I've got a huge-ass pile of Novas. If I survive this encounter... Wow, there are a lot of... oh, shit. Alright. Whoa, shit, I'm gonna just do it. Okay, so around 3 now, it starts slowing down, and it stays down for a couple of seconds. But it's definitely a lot better. It just lingers a little bit more. I know the what is it? The reactor rumble, that was changed. to be more efficient. I haven't played single player since this patch cycle started, so I haven't seen any. No, I haven't played since the last patch cycle. That's what I mean. So I never saw the reactor rumble in the first place. So I'm just taking that one on faith because I don't want to spoil the single player. This is something I've been waiting on for 20 years. Alright, so I'm being carried a little bit by the invincibilities. And given their drop rate, I feel like their drop rate's got bugged quite a bit. Because now I'm back up towards 174, and it's all because of the invulnerability carries. And I think in my first impressions, I was able to touch 335, 350, something like that. That was the highest I could go during the whole patch cycle. I never got above that. What is up with this? There's another invulnerability. This has to be by design. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm hoping it's not like some kind of bug that I'm going to wind up abusing in order to set the record. Because I'd feel pretty bad. It's just a tough part for this difficulty level. There's like certain essentially kill points. So like 65, 137, something like that, where the spawn rates for shields change. Because I feel like they were pretty sparse earlier, and then all of a sudden I'm getting a lot of drops. No, I'm not getting drops. Like it's tied with spawn waves essentially. Or I was just not good at seeking them out. Or it's been 2 weeks and I don't really remember how to play this game. So, please take all of that with a grain of salt. Shit. Fuck. That was that. That ended real fast. Whew. Let's see. Alright, so there were three types of supers in that instead of just 2. So the variation is increasing. That's pretty cool. Guardians continue to be outsized threats. So that's that. That's not totally surprising. I didn't expect it to get totally, a total upheaval there. I feel like it was a little bit faster though. Let me see how long I've been on the air here. That was a 20-minute run, which that's pretty quick. I'm gonna do one on Foundry since I know that spawns ogres pretty with some frequency. I'm gonna do actually, countdown Foundry. Maybe I should do countdown from now on for stuff. Maybe not. Let's see, Creeper and Devastator. I gotta work on my strategy for this because my Syrinx record for Hotshot countdown, I set that using a lot of big Devastator stuff. So like, I gotta figure out how best to do that. Ogres feel physically heavier, but I can't tell if they're throwing me as much with their hits, like the physical hits. So like, it's tougher to knock them around a little bit. Come on, do something. Alright, so that was a decent blast by 2 of them, now 3 of them. Ogres are back to where they were. That is a very welcome change. Because they were kind of nonsense earlier. And the physics throw would like slightly alter my frame rate, and it was just like it was difficult. But again, this is like my first games with it, so a lot of this first impression-y stuff, I've been debating on whether or not I should actually do it with each video, you know, like test, what is it, challenge mode. Instead, I would like just do first impressions of the like new content and then skip out on balance stuff until later and do a separate like balance video action. Just because like doing a first impression of stuff, it always changes after a while. Even, you know, within a couple of hours playtime, and by then it's like, well, I just finished uploading. Let me turn that music down very slightly. There we go. Let me change the music itself. Yeah, we'll do this. Yeah. Oh, now I gotta turn it back up. There we go. That's better. Krakens don't appear to have the crazy firing angle, and it does take them a little bit longer to turn around, which is pretty good. I had just gotten good against them, and now it seems they've been slightly nerfed. But yeah, really the reason I played this one was to see what was going on with the ogres, and it looks like they took a pretty decent nerf, which is great, because they were pretty not excellent. Like, it's fun to fly against them when they're tough, but like the physics was what I was mostly worried about. The damage, you can learn to live with it. Oh, that's what it is. The Sharpies got flipped over to a reflex. That's a pretty major change. That's a huge departure from the design of the robot since really the beginning of early access. I remember, I mean, shit, they played client sessions for months until they were finally nerfed a bit. And now they've taken, not really the ultimate nerf, but a pretty major one in that they're now shooting the reflex cannon. So that's a pretty good one. There we go. That's not it. This is it. Do creepers become stronger? I can't tell. Oh, I also have super trackers, so yeah, they're just strong to begin with. If creepers never get nerfed for any reason, that's just fine with me. They're overpowered, and that's okay. They're like a weapon where it's okay to be overpowered. And I think everybody kind of agrees. Starting to run out of shields here, so we'll see if I make it to the end. Oh, there's a lot of shields. So, shield spawn is a little weird. There. Yeah, it's like, oh, you go through like deserts, and then all of a sudden, you're back on top again. So the feast or famine is gonna be something to work through. Ah, fuck. That's like a huge hit there. Okay. I wonder. I'm made to wonder if countdown spawn rates were changed a little bit. I'm not sure in the slightest. I'd have to play Syrinx because that was pretty crazy. Let's see here. What do I want to do? Blizzard, I think, has the reverse, so Blizzard will be the last one that I do. I'm going to do Countdown Hotshot again. Hotshot's just like the base. Let's see. Oh, Flak. That's probably why I wasn't doing as well. I begrudgingly use Flak on Countdown just because it can grind things out and you don't have to aim as much. And with so many targets, aiming isn't as much of a necessity. I'm hoping I get a Reaver to spawn somewhere, and if the Reaver spawns, I want to see how much health it has, because it had some pretty outrageous health values earlier. Yeah. Okay, so golems, I guess is how they're pronounced. They have been tuned down, it seems. They're a bit easier to square off against, just in terms of damage values. They're plenty aggressive, but they're not too aggressive, at least not in this particular instance. Get back to me in an hour. Oh shit! That was a pretty good hit by that shredder. Oh my god! The head shit is outrageous. Seriously. It might have just figured out like what video game music is. Okay, so Hydras have the same weapon, same accuracy-ish. But they do way less damage. So some things are doing less damage, which is nice. Other things are not. Everything also appears to have more pieces, more physical nonsense, everything's a little bit flashier, which is cool. I mean, I'm always appreciating that. Getting that countdown groove back. No Reavers is a bit of a bummer. Maybe they'll show up, who knows. There we go. It's all coming back. Oh man, I felt like that was a lot of damage, but I was able to tank it. That's great. That, like, stuff like that, you don't want the player to always do that. Like, just now I didn't. But when they can pull it off, it feels so good. So I don't know if, like, I don't know how to design something like that, but I know how to say what I want. I don't even think I know that. But yeah, it's punishing enough. On Hotshot anyway. This doesn't go for Ace, it doesn't go for Insane, it's just Hotshot. So yeah, Infinite I think still needs a slight uptick in shield drops. Countdown is in a very good spot. We always need more people playing this. Both this game and Countdown specifically. Alright, let's see how the cloaking device works. Alright, so Shredders do not appear to go for it. They won't, like, randomly skitter around and do stuff. we'll see how that turned out. I wasn't really watching the score. All right, 119. 119. I think with some grinding, it could probably touch my PB. I forget if that's number 1. I don't think it is. Oh, it is. All right. So that would have been the number 2 score. All right, so this is pretty good. A lot of good changes. Still waiting for the Guardians to get nerfed, but I'm gonna say that until release. Yeah, lots of good stuff. Lots of, like, as always, every patch is good. That's what makes this awesome. So yeah, sub to me on here. Follow me on Twitch whenever that comes back up. Yeah, thanks for watching. It's always a pleasure making these videos. So yeah, the more I can make, the happier I am. All right, I'll see y'all guys. See y'all in the next one.